Imagine you wake up after a restless sleep, only to have trouble walking to the kitchen to make your morning coffee. It was a large one yesterday, and the bumps and bruises from the footy game have definitely left their mark, visible and invisible. Now, imagine living that with the rest of your life. That is what people with chronic hip pain have to go through every single day. 1 in 4 women, or 1 in 10 men, will experience this condition in their lives. These are some huge numbers for the general population. Think about having that pain and stiffness forever, and now you have painted a perfect picture of what it's like to imagine someone with chronic hip pain. But that is for people that have the condition. What if we rewind the clock? Is there anything that can be done to perhaps prevent the onset of hip pain? Well, that's where I come in. As a postgraduate student studying clinical anatomy, there are some answers out here to these very real questions. Now, being active is very important to me. I love a wee getaway into the hills, skiing, tramping, or perhaps down to the water, kayaking or rowing, or maybe just on the field with my mates, kicking a ball, playing rugby. So it's very important for me that my hip stays in shape so that I can keep doing the things that I love. So, how does one prevent this? Now, a report from Mella, using 3 different interventions, looked at what could be done to at least alleviate and then prevent lateral hip pain in the future. And so what they used was a prospective, single-blinded, randomized clinical trial, which basically means that they mixed up a lot of people and tested out different things. And so the 3 things that they tested were a wait-and-see approach, where they really did nothing, a corticosteroid injection, and direct physiotherapy intervention. The study used 204 patients with an average age of about 55, so right in that sweet spot where we would normally see this condition. And so this was done over 52 weeks to see what would happen. And right here in my hands are the results. So let's have a look, shall we? So, looking at the data, what can we see? Well, we can see that the physiotherapy intervention made a huge difference compared to the corticosteroid injection and the wait-and-see approach, where those who were under the physiotherapy intervention described that they were moderately to a lot better in terms of their hip pain, as well as scoring on a 5-point chart, much lower after therapy intervention than the other 2 outcomes. But that's just the papers. These are just words. What is it like to really have this condition? To really live with hip pain? And how does it affect individuals on their day-to-day life? G'day, I'm here with not Stian, and he's come here today to talk about his living with lateral hip pain, quite a serious condition. So how are you? Oh yes, honey, I wasn't the same as I once was. Wow, you had me running around the circuit very quickly, but no, not anymore. My leg's taking damage, and really it just affects me. That's interesting. And what kind of symptoms specifically would you say has really affected you? Well, for one, I can never really sleep properly, and it just hurts walking all the time. See, one time I was at the grocery store, and wow, I got to aisle 4 and couldn't do it anymore, Sonny. I wasn't the man I used to be. And just on a general note, what do you have for the future? The youngins out there who don't have it yet, but who might come to it? Well, for starters, I would wish that I had done more physical exercise, but really kept up with it. I dropped out after my high school years and became a constructioner. I don't think that helped at all. I think keeping your daily pace would have really benefit. I don't think I'd be in the same situation as I once was. Oh well, thank you very much there. We'll see you later. Oh, cheers, Sonny. Thanks for talking to me. I'll see you soon. Now, with all this information, I hope it's given you a better picture of what it's like to have to go through this condition. We all deserve to move, and we all deserve to be out there doing the things that we love. So, in the words of Shakira, the hips don't lie.